You wouldn't believe us, so we're doing it again. It's Bronco versus Wrangler, round 2. I'm John Kappa from The Dirt by Four Wheel Parts, and we're back again with Wrangler versus Bronco. We read your comments and we heard you loud and clear, so this time we got the pinnacle from Ford and Jeep. On my right, we have the Ford Bronco First Edition. On my left, we have the Jeep Rubicon 392 Extreme Recon. Both vehicles have 35-inch tires, beadlock wheels, front and rear lockers, disconnecting sway bars, but the big difference is under the hood. Under the hood of the Bronco, we have a 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6, and under the hood of the Wrangler, we have a 6.4-liter V8 engine. Last time, the Wrangler edged out the Bronco in the slow crawling sections. Will it be the same this time? Let's take them out and see who's king of the mountain. So we're back in the Wrangler 392 with the sway bar disconnected and the lockers off. And we'll start out with the lockers off and see how far we can go before we lock the rear locker. What you'll notice in the Jeep is that the traction control kicks on a lot sooner than it does in the Bronco. Now both vehicles could very easily climb this hill with both lockers locked and the sway bar disconnected, but we really don't learn a lot about the vehicle by doing that. So it's struggling right there. We're going to lock the rear locker. The sway bar is already disconnected. Overall, the traction control on the Bronco is probably a little less effective than what you'd find on the Wrangler. Now, as you're watching these vehicles, you're probably noticing that we're not using the lockers very often. What we're trying to do is find situations where we can get the traction control to work and see what kind of performance we can get out of the suspension. In the rock crawling segment, the Wrangler outshines the Bronco again. The biggest gripe we got last time was that the Bronco didn't have a disconnecting sway bar. This Bronco's got it. The traction control in the Bronco was working overtime in order to maintain forward progress. And when that wasn't enough, we had to unlock the sway bar. That added enough flex to get the Bronco up and over the obstacles. While it certainly unlocked more wheel travel up front, it wasn't a game changer. Ultimately, the independent suspension just can't flex as much as a solid axle that's found under the Jeep. You might think that the first thing you want to do with a V8 Wrangler is smash the skinny pedal and blast down a trail, but realistically, that heavy engine and the limited suspension travel really hurts it. On the other hand, the Bronco handles the high-speed bumps better. It's smoother and more precise. In order for Jeep to fit that big V8 and 35-inch tires, they had to limit the wheel travel, which really affects the performance in the bumps. Compared to the two-door Jeep we had last time, the four-door we have this time has a much longer and more stable wheelbase. And the Jeep navigated all of the obstacles with less effort. The interiors of these vehicles are very similar to the Bronco and the Wrangler that we tested last time. The big difference is that these have 4 doors and back seats that you can actually use. But what you'll find is that the Bronco has slightly more legroom and a more comfortable seat. So after all that testing, what did we learn? The Bronco is the high-speed champion and the Jeep is king of crawling. After bringing out the best of the best from Ford and Jeep, we're still going to give the edge to the Jeep. We really appreciate that big V8 power and 35-inch tires with beadlock-capable wheels. That's it for this time. Let us know your thoughts, and maybe we'll be back for round 3 with Bronco Raptor.